Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. We did some more. We're going to do some more Pokemon Emerald today. So just want to quickly recap last time. So last time we did Winona, just destroyed her. Did really well with that one. Actually planned the fight and actually did relatively well. And then we also went down to Lily Cove City and did some Magma Hideout. Unfortunately, losing our Spag Bowl, the Tentacruel during the Maxi fight due to just realistically a very unlucky crit. Actually calced it after the stream, and there was two rolls of the crit that would have killed her, unfortunately. They hit one of them, so there we go. But it just proves that really there was plays around that where I could have easily avoided losing him. Had a Gyarados in the party which was immune to the earthquake, so would have been absolutely fine, no issues. I know that had like rock throw, but it would have been fine with it. So today we have quite a bit to do, to be fair. So we've got to get the super rod. So before we can do that, we have to go to the Aqua Hideout and get that done, and then we can move over to Moss Deep, get the super rod. Then we're going to backtrack a little bit to Route 122 to use the super rod to get the Sharpedo, unless of course on Route 120 something, I can't remember which one, but there was another route where we can essentially get, I think it's like Route 124, where we can get Carvana, so it kind of dupes out that route, but we could see how we do. And then if we've got time, we'll do Moss Deep Gym as well, which is a double battle. So thankfully, the loss of Spag Bowl the Tentacruel wasn't too bad, because he kind of got to the end of its use anyway. Like, he was going to be useless against Tate and Liza, neutral against Juan, and then in terms of Elite Four, I don't think it would have come into the Elite Four with us. So not really too much of an issue there. So yeah, without further ado, I suppose we should get going. So yeah, this is where we currently are. And we're currently, as you can see, in Lava Ridge Town because we've just done the Maxi Hideout. And our level cap is level 42. We've now got 8 deaths. So we'll just quickly recap the deaths that we've got. So as you can see here, we've got Beautifly, Worm the Beautifly, Chicken the Combustion. That one still hurts. John Cena with a choke, seen by Slack Off when his counter. And then the decimation that our dad did to us. So Camel the Nummel, Mushroom the Breloom, and then Sneck the Survivor. A little bit painful. And then Worms the Lilip, which is lost to the Breloom on the way up to Weather Institute. And then finally Spag Bowl the Tentacruel just lost to Maxi. We almost got through a full stream without a death for the first time. So hopefully today is the day. But what we're going to do is figure out what's next. So in terms of Aqua Hideout, we've actually got some, like, we can move some Pokemon around, to be fair. Like, what we have here in our box is pretty good. But I think what we want to do is take out the Lombre here. And also what we want to do is take out this Natu and put him in place of Tropius. So although Dinosaur the Tropius has done us really well, we're now kind of replacing him a little bit. So we're just going to level him up. Level these guys up quickly. So just make sure they're about the right level. So we're going to level up, that's about 38, 39. And then it's a case of we've got a lot to get through. So we'll try and do that as quickly as possible. So reason we're taking the Xatu is because it's like a bit of psychic coverage. So, you know, it'll do really well against some of them. Which is a very useful move to have. Future Sight also very useful, so we'll definitely teach both of those there. There we go, we'll take it to 39, and then what we're going to do is we're going to level up the Lombre here to level 38. Thief is a pretty good move, so we'll get rid of Nature Power for it. And then 38, and then we also have a water stone here to evolve him. So we now have Ludicolo. Right, I'm just going to mark a couple of these guys off. We also, I didn't realise that we have this, but we also have the Star You encounter in Lily Cove City. So we're going to need to go and do that as well. Before we do anything, we need to just quickly teach Fly to Xatu here. And should probably heal up. I'm pretty sure in terms of the Star You, I'm pretty sure it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a super rod encounter. I'm just going to double check that, so we've definitely got it. But now we're healed and we're ready to go, basically. But I'll just double check. There we go. So in terms of fishing, yeah, fishing with a super rod, everything else is a dupe. So we'll have to come back for that one. So, right, let's get flying. We'll go over to Lily Cove City here. We've basically done everything we need to at this point, but unfortunately we have to trigger the Slateport cutscene, essentially. So we've got to go down here to go into... So yeah, here we go. It's Aqua Hideout. So here we go. He's gone off to Jack to take a submarine. So you just talk to these. This kind of activates the next stage. I'm not 100% sure if it's actually needed, but it's just what I've always done. So, and then we're going to fly again to Slateport City. This, like, as I said before yesterday, this is kind of like, you do a lot of traveling around the region at this point. Thankfully, we do have fly. Could you imagine, like, running around during this? It'd be an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, we're just going to talk to this guy, Captain Stern, and then that's when they decide to take the submarine, and then that's when we can carry on with what we were doing. Here we go. So he's like, oh, where did it come from? And then he's like, oh, it's coming from the harbour, which is like literally right next to you. But you didn't see him go in there in the first place, right? So so then he's like, oh, not you again. And they jump in the water and take it away. And now we have to go back to Aqua Hideout and... Right, there we go. So that's that done. And now we have to fly all the way back to Lily Cove again. And now we can get through. So, unfortunately, you can't like sprint through here, which is a little bit annoying, but what can you do? Wish you could sprint through here. And then like the gimmick in the Aqua Hideout is, I don't know if people have like played like the first generation of Pokemon, but it's got like warp pads, and the warp pad will take you to a different room. So I know my rough way around this place, so you always go in here and then you can get the max elixir. And then this is the way you actually need to go. This is a double battle, so it should be good. First battle of the day. So we'll fly, and then we'll use Thunderbolt on Zubat, so then it's just like Poochyena can't really do anything to Magnet, so we're okay with that. Plus we're a little bit over level, but that's because like when you get to like Matt, he's got like level 37 Pokemon, he's not too bad either. So we'll Thunderbolt again, and then the bird should take out the Poochyena here. There we go. It just leaves a Zubat left to take out. It doesn't really matter what we do here, it's going to be going down anyway, so we'll just Nightshade and then Spark. That should be enough to take him out. There you go. That's those two done. And then we'll go through here. Down these stairs. And then there's someone running around over here, so we're just like, we don't need to necessarily avoid any trainers, but like, we don't necessarily need to fight them either, so. Right, there's an item here, so we come through here. Right, at this point we're a little bit over level for where we are, but that's because you have to go through the magma hideout first, which has higher levels than the aqua hideout. So you kind of have to just put up with that for a little bit. And look, like this guy, you don't even have to fight either. You could just walk straight through. Like, it's kind of really simple. Like, you only have to fight a few people in this whole place, so. It's another double battle, so should be fine. Once again, this is a kind of like, not really a difficult battle, but we'll fly against that and we'll get rid of the Cavern. I think the Cavern will do us more damage than the Zubat at this point. There you go, Zubat missed. And then we'll like Thunderbolt here as well. If it even, which it didn't survive, so we're okay. Right, moving on. We actually got here really quickly. Okay, here we are. So we actually do want to backtrack in a minute. So we're going to backtrack now, actually, because there is something that I need to get hold of, which is really, really important. And I realise that it's not the way that we went. So I don't know if you guys can see here. You see these 4 items. One of them is an encounter, and one of them is a really important item. So we're going to go back and get those. Might have to fight her. No, luckily we avoided it. So it's just along here. And then this one is like a bit of a weird, like if you step on the wrong one, it will just put you back to the beginning. So like here, for example, it's put me down here. That's really good. But then if you go here, it's like putting you in the same one. But yeah, it's like they're not really difficult to get through. So, right, what we're going to do here is, yep, we're fine. We're going to run Magnet here. So the first two are encounters. So Team Aqua Hideout encounters. And it's always guaranteed to be the same encounter every time. But we've got a hope here that it doesn't explode on us. We do have 2 opportunities at it. But Electrode's a pretty good Pokemon. It's quite quick. So I think we do have... Okay, we don't, unfortunately, have any quick balls, but that's fine. So we'll just use Thunderbolt on it. Love that it paralysed me. Very strange, but yeah, it's alright. Right, and then we'll use, I think we'll use an Ultra Ball here just to make sure. Right, didn't go in. Got to be careful as well because with Sonic Boom it's going to be doing 20 damage each time. So just got to be careful and make sure. There you go. So I definitely feel like the Electrode here is without a doubt, it looks like a Pokeball, right? It's just an upside down. Actually, it's not even an upside down Pokeball, it's just a Pokeball. So we'll call it Pokeball. There you go. Right. And then we'll just put it there, that's fine. There we go. So we don't need this second encounter here, so we'll just ignore that. But this is useful. Nugget's very useful, 5,000 Pokédollars, but this is what we came for, so Master Ball. 1 guaranteed encounter. Now, let's quickly heal up. There we go. So now we're full. Love how the Wild Electrode did more damage to me than the whole of the Team Aqua grunts, basically. So, yeah, here we go. We're back out now. So, we'll now go and do Matt. Avoided that spinner every time. Did well there, I think. Alright, back along here. Just remembering to avoid that trainer down here, so we'll go past him. And then here we go. So Matt leads off with a Sharpedo, so that's why we're leading off with Magneton. This is his, like, oh, he doesn't. He leads off with the Mightyena. Okay, interesting. But it's fine. Doesn't really change. We could basically sweep this whole team with Magnet. So, like, Thunderbolt will just destroy the Mightyena. I wasn't expecting it to be a one-hit, but I swear he's supposed to have a Sharpedo, but apparently not. Who knew? There you go. Really quick and easy, that battle. And that's Aqua Admin Matt done. And the Aqua Hideout done, basically. So really quick. Unfortunately, Archie gets away. So we now have to just go through here and we'll get ourselves out of here. Oh, definitely went the wrong way. You go up through here. There you go. And now, as you can see, this area over here is now opened up. So, hang on, this is just going to be a dupe because we already have the wing goal. So, we don't have to worry about that. So, as you see, look, route 124, that's now opened up. So, we have encounters up here, but I'm pretty sure they're all going to be dupes anyway, unless we fish, which we want the super rod for anyway. So I may actually just rappel the whole way along. There you go. Right, nice little double battle here. So Maron, Gyarados, these kind of trainers along this route aren't exactly difficult to beat, but we need to pay attention to them at the very least because, you know, if we're not careful, we will lose one stupidly. And how many have we lost stupidly during this whole, this whole run, essentially? So just play to our wins here. Get rid of the most important one here. Gyarados is about probably the strongest of the two, but it's also the weakest in terms of the fact that we've got Magneton out. Double Edge is not going to really do anything, so that's all right. And then we will just Spark here because if Fly doesn't take him out, then Spark will finish him off. So there you go. There we go. So moving on. Nice open sea. You see these spots here? They're actually dive spots. So really, really useful when you get the HM for dive after defeating the 7th gym. You in some of these spots you can get shards, which are really, really useful for this guy here. In that house, he will trade shards for water stones and thunder stones and stuff like that. So we actually do need we've got a fire stone, but we would like a thunderstone. I think we might have one of them as well already, but we need a leaf stone for definite. But now we're in Mustique City, so we'll just heal. So, as mentioned, we've done Aqua Hideout now. So we need to go and get the super rods, which I believe should be around here, I believe. Oh, look at this guy just chilling down there. So it's not this guy. I'm pretty sure it's the guy in. It's the guy in this house. Gives us the super rod. There you go. So now that opens us up to a lot more possibilities in the sense that there's a lot more Pokemon that we can get. So we're actually now going to backtrack and go and get those. So first thing we're going to do is go to Lily Cove City. And go along here. And then route 122, there we go. And then we're gonna just fish from here. This may take a bit of time, but we will get there. Actually requires a bit of concentration. There we go. If this now turns out to be a magic up, you're going to be fuming, aren't you? It's a Whelmer, which we already have the Whelmer. So the Sharpedo is a roll. It's a chance. It's not necessarily guaranteed. So this may take a bit of time. Oh, it got away. Lovely. Here we go. So hoping that this is all okay. There we go. Here's a Sharpedo. This is what we wanted. So only thing we're going to do here with Magnet is quite literally just paralyze it. This is mainly to dupe it out on other routes, so that when we go and use the Super Rod in other routes, it means that we're guaranteed to not get this because we've already got it. So, and also as well, like with like species claws and stuff like that, I know I probably haven't mentioned this before, but if I catch the Sharpedo, then that dupes out the Carvana as well before it. So, realistically, we don't want to do too much damage to this guy, but also we don't want him doing too much damage to me. Sharpedo's a bit of a glass cannon, so in a sense that it hits hard, but it's also really frail. Like, look at that. It's done, like, silly damage to me already. Like, what's that? 30-something damage. 37 damage. So, we'll use Fake Out. There we go. And then we're just going to use Absorb. Hopefully this doesn't do too much damage. We don't want to knock it out. There we go. Also gives us back a little bit too. And now we could just start throwing balls at it. Again, Ultra Balls. Not really 100% sure what we're going to use the Master Ball on. But, you know, if anyone has any ideas what they think I should use the Master Ball on, then please let me know. Right, so Sharpedo caught. So it's definitely like a weird, like, rather than just calling it shark, I think maybe let's like call it jaws, because it's like got big jaws, right? Seems really weird to say, but yeah, that's I think that's where we're gonna go with. So 1 second, I just got to go back and log that as caught. So it basically means that on Route 123, which is just below, the only thing that we get a chance of catching is Kecleon, which is a 1% encounter. I'm not going to waste my time trying to catch a 1% encounter that I will never use. So we're just not going to have a Route 123 encounter. And then we have Lily Cove City, which is basically the only thing we can get is Staryu through fishing with a Super Rod. So essentially we're going to go over here. There's an item there and I really want to go and get it. But again, we're just going to stand here and fish. Here we go. Whelmer again, lovely. It's really bugging me. Here we go. We're getting some bites now. So yeah, with this I think it's Whelmer and it's Staryu, so both. And this also evolves via Water Stone, so we definitely need another Water Stone at some point. So this one's a little bit lower level, so we've really got to be careful here. So just Thunderwave again. We'll then do the same as what we did before, switch into Ludicolo and use Fake Out. Crit did 2 damage. That's great. There we go. So we use Fake Out. I think that's done enough damage here. We can just start throwing Ultra Balls again. There we go. And I think I want to call this one, so it looks quite a lot like, to me it looks quite a lot like Patrick off of SpongeBob, so I'm going to go with Patrick. There we go. So now we have those 2 encounters, which is really useful. So we can now fly back to Moss Deep. And then in terms of the Moss Deep encounters, there's Beldam, but we can't get that until post-game, so really not useful. Everything else is a dupe. And then Route 124, there's Chinchou, Clampo, and Relicanth, but all of those aren't available until I get Dive. So I think for now, we are actually good on encounters. We could go and get the Shoal Cave encounter, which is Snorunt or Spheal. So let's go and get that too. So Shoal Cave is like a really good place. Like, I actually quite like Shoal Cave. It's really like, for the time that it was in, like this game, this is really like really good. Route 125 encounter, definitely not. It's just going to be a winger. Haunting us tentacle there, because we lost him. Right, keep going. Oh, that's an item there. Kind of want that. I'll take the battle for that. I don't even know what the item is, but I want the battle. There we go. Birdkeeper Presley and Expert Auron. There we go. Apologies. Wait, okay, but that's like the best outcome we could have got, really. Ludicolo's come out. And then we'll just fake out the Manectric here. So he flinches. Tropius will go down. And then there's R2, so that's fine. So Thunderbolt the R2, and then we will... From what I remember in Gen 3, Surf doesn't hit your own teammate, but in later generations it does. So let's see if that's true, shall we? Because it'll be very useful in terms of the upcoming gym battle. So yeah, I was right, yeah. Oh, nice, Machamp. What could we have had if we didn't lose John Cena? We'll just hit him hard with stab moves, really. Should be enough to take him out. Yeah, easily enough. All that for a big pearl, guys. All that for a big pearl. Right, we're going to keep making our way up here. So if I can remember which way it is to Shoal Cave, which I can't, definitely can't. So I'm going to have to put the rappel on and have a little wander around. We're coming into training now as well. Seeking. At this point, it's kind of a foregone conclusion is that I'm running an electric type that's a few levels above everyone in a like ocean. It's basically just foregone conclusions, really. The only thing I've got to worry about is that I don't over level him. Okay, yeah, here it is. So Shoal Cave is actually really interesting because depending on the time of day, depends on which type of Shoal Cave you get. So, like, at certain times of the day you have high tide and then low tide, and that depends on what, like, the cave actually looks like. And to get all the items, you actually have to come back at 2 different times of the day. And this guy kind of explains it a little bit. So at the moment it looks like it's high tide, so... yeah, so he wants some shoal salt and some salt shoal shells. But we're just not going to bother because we only want the encounter. So as you can see here, like you can go like over here, or you can go further up like this, and then go into the cave a little bit more. So we're just going to keep wandering until we like. So that these are the shell, the shell shells, for example. Until the rappel runs out, we're just going to have to keep wandering. There we go. So, available Pokemon in this cave are essentially Zubat, Golbat, Tentacle, Whelmer, Magikarp, and then but they're all dupes. And then we have Snorunt and Spheal. So both are quite good. Snorunt into Glalie is quite good. Spheal into Walrein essentially is very good too. Both valuable Pokemon, which is the only reason we're sort of coming here. Not ideal that we run into like 2 of the most common Pokemon in the game. Here we go. This should be a decent encounter, I hope. So here we go, Spheal. So, yep. Love the little like spin it does as well. That's really cool. I think if I was really pressed to say like which one I wanted, I would have actually probably said Spheal. Walrein's quite bulky. Glalie looks really cool, but yeah. Go. So once again, we're just gonna start throwing balls. There we go. And I'd say this is like a walrus, essentially. Like this, like here is like a mini walrus. But once it evolves, it becomes like a big walrus. So, yeah, we'll definitely name it walrus. There we go. And now, because I can't be asked to stand around in here anymore, I'm just going to use one of the escape ropes to get out of here. So that is basically all the encounters done now, which means that the only thing left to do now is to do Tate and Liza's gym. So let's prep for that. So Tate and Liza is a psychic type gym, but also they do a lot of double battles. Even the trainers within the gym are double battles as well. So we want to prepare for a lot of psychic type stuff. So dark types are really, really useful. So let's have a quick look at what we've got. Dark types, especially bulky types, you know, things that have got very high special defense. So when you're sort of looking at those, you're looking at things like, you know, Mighty Enna. One Pokemon we're definitely not going to take here is Crobat, because it's a poison type and it's especially weak to psychic types. So, but like there's other ones here that like we could probably take. Like when you look at like Ludicolo here, like it's got reasonable special defense. It's got 85 special defense. That's pretty good. Like when you compare it to like Torkoal, for example, who's very high bulky defensively, not special defense, it's not too bad. But like, yeah, so I think lead off with the core of these three is good, and then we'll get out Mighty Enna. I think we'll take Shuppet, being a ghost type, and I think Absol is a really good shout too. There's also things like here, like Crawdaunt, very, very useful. So we'll take him in place of Gyarados. And then you also have Sharpedo, which is also very good. So, but Sharpedo is quick, so I think if we think about that, maybe we have that one in terms of in space of Ludicolo instead. So the only thing we have to do now essentially is just level them up, get close to level 40 basically. Teach them some good moves so that, you know, they're not like massively out. Like, so Taunt is quite good because it means that they can't use like setup moves and stuff like that. But with what we've got here, I kind of want to just keep those, because Taunt basically forces them to attack you. Crab Hammer, very good move. The only problem is it's like not very like, it has a high crit ratio, but the accuracy is not really there. But we could probably work around that, so let's do it. Why not? Scary Face is really useful because it like lowers their speed. So we'll get rid of Howl because that basically becomes useless because Dark's a special type in this gen. Okay, there we go, and then we'll go with leveling up this Scoff Cat here. Slash, good move. We'll get rid of quick attack for that. And then we've got the Shuppet here. Get rid of Screech. Faint Attack, very good move. We'll get rid of Spite. And then here he goes evolving into Banette, so that's really useful. Right, okay, so now we're ready to go up to the gym. So what I'm just going to do is I'm actually going to lead off with... Oh, we didn't actually level up Sharpedo, so that was lucky that we looked at that. We kind of want to look at Sharpedo's moves as well. So Scary Face, Crunch, Screech, and Slash. So we'll get rid of like Scary Face because I'm going to be quicker than mostly anything that comes anyway. So like lowering their speed is not really that much of a problem. But we're also like I'll show you this, and so we can look at like its stats. So it's got really high attack, and it's got relatively decent special attack as well. So it's a bit like a mixed attacker, but it's not bulky at all. So it basically needs to kill in one hit. And because of that, if it's not like... It's got crunch, but it also needs to learn a couple of other moves as well to be able to be useful here. It can't just be a one-trick pony. So we've got some TMs and HMs. So realistically, we want to teach it Surf. Get down. Sorry, my cat just decided to jump up on the desk there. So we get rid of Screech, and then like Taunt's kind of relatively useless unless you have like a Focus Sash, because then it can taunt. And then basically just, and we'll also teach Surf to. No, we won't. There's no point. But yeah, that's kind of all we really need to do for now. Toxic's really useful, but again, we're going to save that for a rainy day. But we're going to lead off with, I think, probably these two here. So Burnett and Sharpedo. And then we'll just sort of see how we go from there. But this is like, again, I don't know if anyone's like what looked at like the rocket hideouts, like from like Gen 1, where you like are like forced like in a certain way. But this is very similar. But you basically press the buttons and it turns the trainers rather than moving you around. So as you can see here, now that'll get me into a double battle by pressing that button. Which is why we went for the first two, because nearly every battle in this gym is going to be a double battle. It's kind of the gimmick of this gym. So Curlier and Kadabra, very useful. So we'll crunch on the Kadabra, and then we will feint attack on the Curlier. So it's use Future Sight, which basically doesn't do any damage straight away, but if I let this battle drag out, it will start doing damage to me. So by taking them out as quickly as possible, it will help us. So again, we have got Curse as well. So Curse on like Ghost types works differently to Curse as normal. So like it actually like cuts half of your HP, puts a Curse which takes away 25% per turn on the opponent. So it's like a really good thing if I want to use that switch out for something that's basically walling me. But for now it's okay. So once again, like this, if we ever get through, it's going to be a double battle again. So we're going to keep going. So Crunch should take out the Xatu here. There you go. Confusion. Yeah, it would have only been on the Burnett, so that's fine. And then we'll just do that again. So Crunch will finish it off. There we go. So weirdly enough, Ghost type moves are actually physical in this generation, which makes no sense whatsoever. It should have been the other way around. Dark should have been physical and Ghost should have been special, but I don't know what they were thinking. The physical special split in Gen 4 was like the best thing that could have happened to this, like these games. So there we go. Right, so we're going to crunch the routes here, and then the same thing that we've been doing every time. Magic Coat's not ideal, but that's fine. Thankfully, they're quite weak, so we should be okay. Let's use magic coat again. Well, good battle, I suppose. Just because we want to share the love as well, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch a couple of Pokemon rounds. So we're going to swap out Jaws here for Wolf, and then we're also going to put Lobster up here. So there we go. And then this here is, we're just going to, we want to kind of go through here, as you can see. And then to get back through, we actually need to do that, like that. That does mean that this is only a single battle, but that's fine. Can live with that. Calm Mind, very, very scary, I'd say. Special attack and special defense increase, but not enough. There we go. So you notice like what I did there is I pressed this button here on the right to like move the statues on the over to the far right there. So I'm actually going to have to fight this person, aren't I? Yeah. This isn't actually ideal here because it's fighting and psychic, so we're actually going to change here. We're just going to go into Magneton here and just hit it hard. Hidden power. I wonder what type of hidden power that is. Super effective, so must be fighting or ground. One of the two. More than likely fighting. Hit it hard with Thunderbolt there. There we go. And then we should just be able to move forward. And then there, and then that brings us through. So we scuffed that a little bit, but it's fine. Yeah, forgot about that. So we have to actually go back through here to this other one. To move the other thing, but it's fine. So we're going to be very careful with this Wobbuffet. So what we're going to do actually is we're just going to aim down one side here. And swap. Oh, Shadow Tag prevents switching. That's lovely. So we'll knock off there. There we go, so that's fine. So Wobbuffet will always is slow, so it will move last. But as you can see, it's probably more than likely going to use like Miracle or Destiny Bond in this case. So now I have it. You can't switch out, and I have 3 turns to basically defeat this now. Otherwise, we will lose one of these. But it could also has Miracle, which will like reflect back like special moves, and it also has counter. So it's going to use Destiny Bond again. Thank God for that. So like this is not a problem anymore. So Destiny Bond is, it will try to take it down with it. So we're just going to keep like, so we'll just basically wait until it doesn't use Destiny Bond anymore. There you go. So use safeguard. So now we're good. We can now we can attack it because it won't take one of us out with it. So definitely got Destiny Bond and Perish Song mixed up for a second there, but that's fine. So what we need to do is move this guy here and then move down. And I think this is the last trainer battle that we have to do in the whole gym. So once we get through here, we should be okay to just then quickly run back, heal up, and then we'll start looking at what the battle actually is, which is not fun, but we'll figure it out. Okay, this is not a difficult battle, so we're okay. For anyone recognising the music, absolutely love this song. It's unreal. So we're going to go down here and go through here. So what we want to do is we want to turn this by pressing this button. We just want to do it twice, so then we can get through there in a minute. And then we're actually going to go through this one here, because this should just take us back to the beginning. There we go. And we can go heal. Right, so Tate and Liza have 4 Pokemon. So this is different from Ruby and Sapphire in the sense that they just have the Soul Rock and the Lunatone. They actually lead off with a Claydol and a Xatu. And the Claydol and the Xatu, like, Xatu's there to set up, so, and then it also has, like, it's a flying type, so it will synchronize your ability and use it against you, and then it also is a flying type. So Claydol will just spam Earthquake the whole time. So we kind of want to take out both, but we also want to take out the Xatu because of the fact that it can use Sunny Day, and then Soul Rock can just start spamming Solar Beams. So we don't want that either, especially as we're taking 2 water types here. So I think I'd rather take an Earthquake than see a Sunny Day set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to run Jaws first. And then we're also, I think that we need to run something that's quick enough. So let's level them up to level 42 first of all. Okay, so, and I think what we're going to do is we're definitely going to go with Jaws up front because of the fact that it can just spam Surf. And then I think second is the best thing we can do is because Earthquake is a ground type move, which is inherently it's physical, so we will utilize the Intimidate to be able to get through that. Can I actually get through here? I can, cool. Just double check down here that this is actually not messed about. It has, cool. Okay. Right, we've moved that now, so we're good to get through. Oh. There we go. Just running through this again. There we go. We're now through, so that's good. Right. Let's do this. So once we get through the Claydol and the Xatu, it's relatively simple because Lunatone and Solrock are like rock psychics, so we'll like fully utilize the fact that we've got 2 water types along to like spam surf and stuff like that. So we're going to run Surf first, and then we're also going to hit Bite on Claydol. Not on Claydol, sorry, on Xatu. So it's use Calm Mind, which I'd prefer that over Sunny Day, to be honest with you, because that weakens Surf as well as the fact that it does damage to, like, makes them be able to use Solar Beam. So, but the Earthquakes are going to hit hard here, and I'm hoping that we don't lose Sharpedo here. So, no, we're okay. But the crit on Mightyena is huge. Okay, so that's fine. So we're going to use Crunch here to get rid of the Claydol, I think. And then we're going to swap out Mightyena here for, I think, Crawdon. There's a Sunny Day, so now we have to wait that out a little bit. So we've got 2 water types out now, and it's got a Sunny Day up, and Solrock's going to come out and start spamming Solar Beams. So that means that we're going to have to double switch here. So because it's guaranteed to use Solar Beam, I'm going to switch into Magneton, and I'm going to Protect. That way it kind of keeps a bit of synergy going. And hope that the Solar Beam comes into Crawdon. But it could have gone into either of them because it would have probably seen a kill on both. So we'll Thunderbolt here to get, like, hopefully get rid of that. And then we'll go into Banette, because I'm willing to lose the Banette, to be honest with you, if the Solar Beam does like do a lot of damage. But it's used Confuse Ray, so that's probably the best result I could have hoped for from Xatu, because it does have Psychic as well, but it obviously couldn't use it against Dark types. So there's down goes the Xatu there. So now we have the Solrock and the Lunatone. Flamethrower is going to hurt here. Yeah. It's always the crit. It's always the crit. Magneton was good. That's a real shame. And then we'll Will-O-Wisp here, I think. Actually, there's not really much point. We might as well just go for damage. So it's going to use Solar Beam on on Sharpedo here, so we've just got to hope that we get some sort of miracle that it doesn't take us out. It probably will though. Yeah, so that's 2 down that we've got so far. Going to Absol. Say you make your own luck, but this is just a joke. Yeah, this will probably take us out too, yeah. Okay, sun should have stopped now, so... Oh. Either way, that was going to be horrible. Oh, we did survive it, but either way, that was going to be horrible. Citrus berry procs there, that's... This actually could be a wipe if we're not careful. Okay, at least we got rid of the Soul Rock. But that Sunny Day, as you saw, really got us like on the back foot. Hypnosis on Crawdon, that's fine. Like, we have the issue in the sense that we don't really have much else to go into, so we're just going to have to live with it. And hope that we wake up, I think. Light screen up. Oh, at least he woke up first turn, that's good. This actually was really useful. We knocked off the Citrus Berry, which means that it's not going to gain any health back. And then we will Crab Hammer there, I think. Hypnosis on the Crawdon again. This is fine. So the only attacking move it actually has is Psychic. So it can't actually do any more damage to us except for put us to sleep. So we might as well just... We're not going to wipe here now because of the fact that we've done that, but we just need to, like, keep chipping away, really. So this now becomes a little bit boring, I'm afraid. Oh, unless, of course, the Crawdon wakes up every time, but 3 really tough losses in that battle, but we did get through it. The Sharpedo was probably the worst of the 3. Magneton, actually, no. That was the worst of the 3. Magneton was disgusting. Right. That one hurt. Hang on. Can I just go through here, can't I? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, we lost Jaws to Sharpedo. We lost Magnet the Magneton. And we lost Banette. Dishcloth the Banette. So that's now 11 deaths. But it does give us a new level cap of 46. And, well, yeah. the next thing to do really is we get dive now, or we do in a minute. So we need to figure that out, but we also need to figure out like what we're going to do here. So I think Ludicolo has to come with us. I think we can store Mightyena there. And then we'll take Crobat with us. I think Xatu. And now the only electric types we have are the Electrode and the Minun, which is a little bit frustrating, but we'll take Loudred as well. Just leveling up. Do we want a Hyper Beam? Probably not. There we go. So. Oh, no, we want to heal. Oh, remember, we need to heal. Alright, we're gonna... Okay, and we'll actually... We want to teach Strength to him. And actually Bulk Up's not a bad thing to teach him as well. But it doesn't learn it, that's mental. You think that Exploud would learn Bulk Up, but fair enough. Get rid of Uproar for Strength, I think. And I think it can also learn... No, it can't learn Area Waste, so that's fine. But it can learn Shockwave, I believe. Yeah, so we'll teach it Shockwave as well, just to give it a bit of coverage. Get rid of Stomp. And that'll do for now. So, I'm pretty sure like this is where, no, wrong house. Sorry. That's where you get the Beldum, I believe, but I can't remember where you get Dive from. I think you have to go down here to the Space Center. Yeah, look, there you go. Lovely. We've got to battle these guys quickly, and then we should be fine. Right, Just double checking who we lost. We lost. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Slugma's still there. Yeah, that's fine. Machop's gone. That one hurts. And then we lost Shuppet as well, which is a little bit annoying because that's like the only ghost type we had. That's fine. We'll use strength here to go after the battle toy. There we go. Stab strengths are really useful. Going to intimidate, so we'll actually just don't really care, to be honest with you. We're just going to use strength anyway. We're 16 levels above it, like. Crit definitely mattered though. 2 intimidate's a bit of a problem, but we move, you know. So still take it out in 2. It's just basically restored all of our attack there, but confused us, so useful. And now we will actually switch. And we'll just surf. We've no point using a fake out. We'll take it out in 1 hit with the surf anyway, so there you go. So this is a double battle coming up, I believe. Three on one, 3 back-to-back battles here, but they're all like, I think there's only like 1 Pokemon in each team, so it's not too bad. Pretty sure in like Emerald Kaizo, the ROM hack, this is like a really difficult fight, but in this it's not too bad. The biggest thing about losing that Magneton is we also lost our Thunderbolt TM, which, don't get me wrong, we can go and get back, like, because you could basically get unlimited money in this game, and then you can use that to trade for coins and get a Thunderbolt TM from the game corner, but it's just a bit of a ball ache, so I'll probably do that off stream, go and get another Thunderbolt TM. I don't know why I just used Shockwave there. That was really silly of me. There you go. Just wasn't really paying attention. These battles are sort of nothing, really. The big battle is the one at the end with the double battle with Steven that you have to do. That's, like, quite difficult. As you can see, we've just done basically like 5 battles here without like losing any health, so not really too much of an issue. So this double battle, they have a Mighty Enna each, a Crobat each, or like I think Maxi has a Crobat and then Tabitha has a Golbat, and then they both have a Camerupt each. So realistically, like, not too difficult in terms of what they are, but enough that they're a bit of a problem. So the Maxi's Camerupt is particularly a problem because it's like level 44 and it has Earthquake. So yeah, so we need to select 3. So we're going to lead off with, I believe they're going to lead off with both Mighty Ennas. So we want to lead off with something that's like going to help us with that. So let's lead off with Yep, and then we'll also bring Yep, and then the Golbats, we'll bring that. There we go. This may have been a complete mistake, but we'll figure it out. So we are going to, I think, probably best to Crab Hammer the Camerupt here. As long as he aims down Steven's side, it's never a problem. And we can very quickly make this a 2-on-1 by just going after Tabitha. There we go. So that's 2. So now that's 2 Intimidates done. We're kind of like fine. Not really an issue. But again, we're just going to aim down one side here. I wanted to use light screen, of course it did. Read Steven like a book there. Right. We actually will swap now. We'll go into Explode. Steven has been super useful this battle. The only thing he's really been useful for is the fact that he's just been a target. He's done no damage whatsoever, but that's fine. Alright, we'll get rid of that there. So that Mighty Enna is now down. So the only thing left to come out on Tabitha's side is the Golbat, which this is why we bought Explode in. That's a little bit annoying. +4 Metal Claw. That's a way to do it, I suppose. Okay, so it's now a 2-on-1, so we're pretty happy with this. Like, obviously I hit myself with confusion. I was gonna say, like, this literally this Metang can just spam Metal Claws now and take him out. I don't know why it's messing about. So this is gonna be Camerupt. This is the problem one because it's got like Earthquake, Rock Slide, Takedown, Amnesia. So we're just gonna like have to just hit it with everything we've got really. Like, this is not very effective. But where it's +4, it's still going to do some damage. The Earthquake's going to do some damage to us. Hopefully that's going to take us out. Yeah, that was silly. That was such a misplay. I don't know why I messed around with that. That was really silly. I'm like just misplaying after misplaying tonight. I would blame the fact that I'm slightly ill, but there's no excuse for that one. And then we have the Crowbat finally. Level 43, I think, yeah. The fact it's used wing attack against the wrong Pokemon as well. Like, the AI in this is so weird. Do you think that might be a bit overkill, Stephen? Maybe? Right, okay, that's done, but stupidly lost the Exploud there. I think we just have a bit of a moment of silence from how dumb I am. Might be a... Wait a minute. My Tiana's not dead. Okay, so... Okay, no more messing around. Let's just lock in here. Figure out exactly what we need to do. There's a lot of water types coming up, so we don't want to be running fire types, but like grass types are probably a good shout here. So let's get Tropius out and go from there. Nah. There we go. Okay. Just... yeah, not much else to say, really. Just updating my tracker. So we've got a few encounters that we can get, but they're all like kind of like they're dupes, really. Like, that's all I can really say is they're all kind of doopy. So we want to go over here, and then we get dive from Steven, which is nice. There we go. And then we'll get rid of Crab Hammer for it, because it's like an 80 base power move. It's like, basically like, it's like a water version of Fly. Or a water version of Dig, basically. So yeah, we have Route 127, Route 128. Route 127 is all dupe, so we can't do anything there. Route 128, there is some dive type Pokemon that we can get, so we could probably get some good stuff there. And then we also have Seed Floor Cavern, which was where we've got to go next. But I doubt we'll get there tonight. Or I doubt we'll use it tonight, like finish it tonight. But like, as I was saying earlier, like you can like dive down in like places like this. And like, there's like little like pots here that you can see, like you get like a heart scale, or you can get shards. Really useful. Do we have any good, like, grass type moves, or, like, are we just going to be running Absorb on? Looks like we're just running Absorb. Useful. We might as well at least get to Sutopolis and then have that as a fly spot for now, and then we'll go from there. We'll fake out there. Using Absorb on a level 43 Pokemon just feels wrong. Like, definitely need to get a different move there for that. I'll do some rechats offline and see if we can get any good like grass TMs to teach him. I wonder what that is. Right, okay, so we're now like basically, yeah, so this is a dive spot and underwater. So everywhere's called underwater. So I feel like maybe we just do one underwater encounter across the whole of it. Like there's no point doing more than one, right? So let's just do that now. Coming into loads of underwater Pokemon down here. There we go. There you go, Clamperl. So let's just hope Body Slam doesn't take it out. It probably will. No, me. There you go. Done. No messing around. There you go. We can come up here, and then we can. We're now in Sutopolis City, so that's good. So now we've got that as a fly encounter. As you can see, we can fly there now, and then the only other ones are Pacific Logtown and Evergrande City. So once again, they're fine as well. So next up on the list then is to go to Seafloor Cavern. So that's around Route 128 area, so we'll go down there. Oh, get the repels on the go. And then you go through here. Around here. And I believe it's like here. So yeah, there you go. So you just go in there and then go up. So whether we actually do this or not, I don't know, like whether we finish this off or not. But C4 Cavern actually does have some encounters, but again, they're all dupes. So we're just going to sit and make sure that we're just going to sit on repels, basically. I'm not messing around with encounters like we did in that magma hideout yesterday. Do we need rock smash as well? We do. Joy. That's all right. We'll teach someone rock smash and then we'll like delete it later. So we'll actually teach it to this, to Ludicolo here. We'll get rid of absorb. And then, as I said, I'll do a bit of like, research offline and see if I can get some good stuff. I think I need to teach someone strength as well because we just lost. Yeah, of course we do. The one problem with the older games is like, is this basically like you have to teach HMs and stuff. So there you go, vice grip. Well, it's showing too much information. He's sore all over, apparently. Also realise yes, we do want to use strength, please. Go. Don't know if I'm going the right way, by the way. I'm just wandering. I think I'm going the right way, but it kicks you out. Love that. Remember that. Don't go that way. Right, there we go. The traders are kind of like just an annoyance more than anything else. Like, we just want to make sure we're healthy enough when we do get to Archie. And Shelly for that matter as well. We'll try going through here. See. Oh, okay, so this is different. Oh, this. Okay, so this is where we came through earlier. That's fine. We can rock smash here. Push this one up. And rock smash this one. All right. Lovely. Keep going. It's a bit of trial and error because I'm not 100% sure what you have to do in this. Like, I just don't remember it really. Up, maybe? Yeah. And then that way. And then up there. Yeah, cool. And either I could fight a double battle or I could do the thing. I'm just going to fight the double battle. Don't want to do the strength puzzle. Okay, this is a I believe this is the double battle with Shelly and a grunt. Yeah. We'll magical leaf and then we will fake out. There we go. Thankfully magical leaf never misses, so double mighty Ennas, what we like to see. Again, as always with this, we just want to try and make this into a 2v1. So that's what we want to, that's what we're going to try and do basically. We're just going to try and take out all of Shelly's Pokemon, so then we just leave the Grunt, who is a lot weaker. Done loads of damage that did. Right, body slam, and then we will surf again. Why not? Using confuse ray is not helpful, but we'll get through. This isn't too difficult. Double hurt and confusion is lovely. That's what we'd love to see. Once again, we're making very hard work of what's a relatively easy battle, but wouldn't be us if we didn't do that, right? We're definitely in range of getting crit here, so we'll definitely swap out Tropius if we don't take him out this turn. There we go. So we need to heal up, first of all. So we'll do that now. There we go. And then another strength puzzle. But this isn't too difficult. Famous last words. There you go. And then we're in here. So Archie will lead off with a Mightyena. So we want to lead off with something that's like just not really too much of an issue there. So we'll lead off with Ludicolo, and then we'll just play from there. I believe this is Earthquake. Yep, lovely. And it's similar to yesterday when we had the Archie issue, the Maxi issue, sorry. As you can see, Archie's now going to come and use his red orb to try and wake up Kyogre. Bit of chip there, and then we'll just surf max damage. He might be faster than me now, which won't be ideal, but that's fine. Super Potion is absolutely fine. So if he goes into Golbat, then we will likely switch because of the Wing Attack and Air Cutter, or Crobat. So we will switch here. I think it's probably best we go into something like, yeah. Well, they're saying that it's got Bite, so maybe we shouldn't have gone in here, but we'll go through Xatu because, yeah, confused, right? That's fine. I'm going to go here. And we'll use Dive. That way, at least, you know, he does some damage to me here, but then I'll Dive and his next turn will be useless. Not really doing much damage here, and we're at range of crit, so we're going to switch out. The problem with losing Magneton is we don't really have an answer to these Crobats anymore. Let's go with Slash. You know what? Crobat versus Crobat. Let's do it. I thought Air Cutter couldn't miss, but turns out I was wrong. We literally have exactly the same moveset. The only difference is I'm one level higher. So, and I'm missing everything. I'm basically throwing this whole battle. But we move, you know. Another Super Potion, that's fine. Alright, there we go. One more should be fine now. Crit. Typical. At least we outspeed. So finally Sharpedo, which is Screech / Swagger Taunt. So he's probably going to go for slash because it's going to, like, it will take me out if he uses it. So we're going to switch out. And we're not going to go straight into, like, we ideally want to use Tropius here, but we're not going to go straight into him. We're actually going to go into here first. To go to Ludicolo first. And then we'll fake out just for chip. And then he's likely going to want to attack us here. Like, he might use Swagger, to be fair. So, but we'll switch. Now we'll switch in, because if we do take some damage from slash, if he tries to slash me, then that's fine. There we go. But now we'll just use Magical Leaf. Crit slash won't kill me, and that should be game. Thank God for that. There we go. That's Archie Deathless at least. That's one shining light of a pretty terrible couple of hours. So that's that. And as you can see, from Groudon disappearing earlier, and now Kyogre disappearing now, we're going to just... They're going to have their little chat, you know, talk about who's wrong, when actually in reality they're both a bit stupid. And as you can see, it's like storming, and it's also like patches where it's like really sunny as well. Not ideal, but love, by the way, that Steven can fly wherever he wants. But I can't. I can only fly to towns. So he's going to Sutopolis. So we might as well go to Sutopolis. But once we go to Sutopolis, we're not actually going to do anything. We are going to save it. Going to watch this nice little cutscene of them two fighting. Everyone knows that Kyogre would absolutely clap Groudon, right? Like, there's not even a competition there. Like, Groudon's an idiot. One, he's fighting him in the water. Two, like, he's weak, like, compared to Kyogre. Like, this is just a mismatch. I don't understand how this is even a fight. And I want someone to challenge me on that. But yeah, so... There we go. So, thanks everyone for coming along today to the stream. It was really enjoyable. Like, we absolutely threw multiple times, but we essentially got through what we needed to. We got through the Tate and Liza split. We did the Aqua Hideout. We've done the Seafloor Cavern. So now we've just got to finish off the remainder of the story. Then go after... the 8th badge, which is Swan, and then we'll be able to go and do the Elite Four, and then finally, hopefully, we'll get through with what we've got left, because there's not many encounters left. I think we've only got about 2 or 3 more, which is not ideal with the team we've got, but we'll figure it out. We'll do some bit of like theory crafting offline and figure out what's going on there. But yeah, thanks very much, guys, and I will see you next time, which will likely be tomorrow. Thanks very much.